Well, I'm joined now by Fawaz Gerges, who's a Professor of International Relations at the London School of Economics and Political Science. A very good morning to you. Thanks so much for talking to us here this morning. So, President Biden saying that he expects Iran to attack Israel sooner rather than later. So, what do we expect to happen next?
Well, I mean, we are dependent, you and I and all of us, on American intelligence. American intelligence thinks that an attack on Israel is imminent, that the Iranians have not made a final decision, the top leadership, yet. No American targets are likely to be in this particular attack, that Iran will be using cruise missiles and drones. The big point here, Anna, is the following. I mean, think about it. You and I and the United States and everyone is talking about this really unfolding crisis. This is a man's-made crisis. This is Benjamin Netanyahu's war cabinet decision to provoke Iran, to attack Iranian sovereignty, the Iranian consulate in Syria, and kill several top commanders. I mean, I fully understand when President Biden says we are devoted to the defense of Israel. The question for him is the following. Are you devoted to the defense of Israel when Israeli leaders provoke other nations and try to drag the United States into another war in the Middle East? That's what we are seeing now. We really are, at the brink of another all-out wider conflict, because if and when Iran attacks Israel, my take is that Israel will likely retaliate against basically strategic targets inside Iran itself, which also will likely precipitate another major Iranian attack. And this is what we have been warning all along in the past 6 months and calling for a ceasefire. Finally, I'm sorry I've taken too much time. I mean, think about it. This particular crisis, Iran and Israel, has diverted attention from the catastrophic situation in Gaza. Where is the ceasefire? Has the Israeli leadership listened to the Security Council, which called for an immediate ceasefire? We're seeing escalation, not de-escalation. And the war itself now is escalating into multiple theaters and basically risks dragging the United States and Britain into another major conflict in the Middle East.
What does Iran want to happen now? It's issued its own explicit threat saying that it will carry out an attack on Israel, but does it want a full-scale conflict with Israel? It doesn't, does it?
No, it does not. And the Americans say so. The Americans have repeatedly said that Iran does not really want a direct war either with Israel or the United States. In fact, and I'm talking critically here, I have no stake in this thing, that Iran has been really desperately trying to avoid a direct clash with Israel. And the fact that Iran has taken its time. If you ask me, what does Iran want? Iran wants to restore its deterrence, because Israel has been provoking Iran, attacking Iran, doing sabotage in Iran in the past few years. And Iran has not retaliated directly. The attack on Iranian sovereignty, the consulate is basically, this is the Iranian state, has really shown Iran to be a paper tiger. What Netanyahu war cabinet, it's not just Netanyahu, his generals are really trying to basically force and provoke Iran to retaliate. So in this particular sense, what Iran is trying to do is to recalibrate or to balance retaliation to restore its deterrence without provoking all-out war. And that's really what we are seeing. The question is, once Iran attacks, how do you really basically recalibrate Israel's response? Because obviously, and I'm talking from in the past 6 months, the United States has not really been able to either exert pressure on Israel or to influence the war cabinet decisions, either in Gaza or vis-a-vis Iran.
OK, well, Fawaz Gerges, it's always interesting to get your take on events. Thanks very much indeed for joining us here this morning.
Thanks.